Thanks for listening to the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast, where each week we talk about a free piece or two of technology that you can use in your classroom. I'm your host, Shannon Martin. I'm a middle school teacher, technology, and instructional coach for my district.
And I'm her producer and husband, Fuzz Martin. And I'll get through this intro quickly because we have a lot to absorb today.
What? Clever.
No.
That.
Here we are.
We're talking about Chrome extensions this week.
We are talking about Chrome extensions.
And it's December already?
Yeah, already December.
Yeah.
Ready to roll into the December holidays.
Yeah, a million things going on. Slate's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you going to the technology conference here in Wisconsin, I might see a few of you there.
Do they have slates all over the place, or is it just Wisconsin?
No, it's specific to Wisconsin.
Okay.
As far as I know. So, yeah.
Neat.
So, we are talking Chrome extensions this week because it's been a long minute since we've talked about Chrome extensions.
And there are a gajillion of them.
There are so many, but it's the sorting through Chrome extensions that are actually helpful more than like
distractions.
Right. Or if you're actually going to use them. I find the kids on Chromebooks, when they have like 12,000 extensions, they lose them after a while. Like they don't know that they have them. They don't know how to use them. They use them for like the project they use them for, and then they don't use them anymore. So
yeah, I agree with that.
I try to only use or share Chrome extensions that you can use for a length of time. Or you can like tuck them away and bring them back as you need to. But
sure.
So we have two Chrome extensions today that we're going to talk about that I'm pretty excited about. They're easy and helpful, and you can use, like as a teacher, you can use them. As an adult in the workforce, you can use them.
Mm-hmm.
And then students can definitely use them. So they are pretty cool.
Cool.
So the first one that goes with your pun? Question mark. It is called Zorbi.
Now you see, now the listener can hear why I made that pun.
So Zorbi, Zorbi is how you spell it.
I appreciate it that you started to sign that while you're
I'm just like using my hand. So Zorbi is a really cool extension that allows you to create flashcards directly from the screen that you're working on.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
So like let's say your students are researching animals and they pull up a National Geographic Kids. And from there, if you have the little Zorbi extension, you turn it on and then it says add card. And then you can choose the deck that you're working from. So you can pre-create your decks and then you can choose what question you want to put in. So like, I want to know about the American crow, or like, how big can the American crow get? Okay. Then it gives you the back of the card, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
You type in the definition and then you can assign it to your topic if you haven't already. And then you click add card and then it creates the card in your little card deck, which is pretty cool. And so you can create cards while you're researching and just add the information you need. So you don't have to flip back and forth between different screens and you don't have to handwrite them, and you can pull information directly from what you're working on and create flashcards, which is awesome and super easy to use. And the extension just makes it all pretty and nice for you. You also have other options with Zorbi. So you can create flashcards right off the screen. So it pulls up a little like side screen on the right-hand side that you just type in and create your cards. You can also, once you have to create a Zorbi account to be able to do this with anything for it to save. You can just go from the extension, you can click on it and it takes you to the Zorbi screen. And there you can create.
Oh, man.
Wow.
I apologize. Here I was playing with Zorbi and apparently using their starter deck, they had some music installed and I got rickrolled. That's fun.
So here we go. So Zorbi also has starter decks. So they have information pre-created in decks for you to practice with or to learn from. And they have deck sharing where you can share flashcards with other people if you choose to. Like if you want students to be able to share them with each other, you can. They also have all of the answers. Like if you accidentally do something, how do you fix it? You can review your cards every few seconds. So it gives you like little tips on how to study as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so on the site, you have the decks that you've pre-created or the decks that you've created from the extension. And it all gets housed in one place, which is kind of nice. So you can be taking notes and then add, if you're reading an article, your kids are researching something or like new vocabulary words, they can add their own little Zorbi flashcards in there. And then once they're using them, then you can go back into the Zorbi site that houses all of your stuff. And from there, then all of your decks are stored along with decks that you were working on before.
Sure, yeah.
So you have everything in one place, which is really cool. And then if you click the Explore button, they have pre-created flashcards for all kinds of languages, which is awesome. So they have like Spanish vocabulary, French vocabulary, Chinese vocabulary. They have the basics of sign language. They have the 50 states. They have all kinds of different Zorbi team created flashcard decks, which is pretty cool. Like you have access to that too. And then they have like, they're adding as they go and they'll say like coming soon. So that's kind of neat that they have their own flashcard decks to share with you as well.
Agreed.
And if you want to, you can in the Zorbi app, so it's zorbi.app/decks. So you can work in this space if you don't just want to have the extension open on your computer. And you can color code them and you can create, and this is with the free version. You can upgrade to the pro version and then they add other things in there if you want to become a pro. So there's all kinds of cool ways to use Zorbi, but I just like that you can have these flashcard decks then and you can start studying and you can choose your study session time. So if you're like, hey, I want to study, you can choose to click 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, all cards that I need in my deck, and you can like time yourself out, which is kind of nice too. So you have those options as well.
I like when you use it, one, not when it plays, never going to give you up, but you select, I couldn't do it, it was okay, or it was easy. So then when you get through the deck, it shuffles back and gives you the ones that you need help with the most.
Mm-hmm.
And then in this version, and I was just playing with the other deck, like the Spanish deck, for instance. And I don't know if this is available for you to do if you don't have premium, but it gives you the pronunciation of the words in an audio format. So it does at least in the decks that you can, the example decks that they have. So
very cool.
Yeah.
You also have the option too, if you're creating a deck, that you can upload a document or upload a PDF and then work from that too. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a web page. You can work from other documents that you have as well if you're going to create flashcards from them. Yeah. Which is kind of cool.
So here's a thought. You could make a PDF of your vocabulary sheet that you're working on with your students and then upload that vocabulary sheet as a PDF and turn it into flashcards that you can use in your classroom in front of the whole class.
There you go.
Boom. Look at that. I'm creating lesson plans right now.
Yay, you.
I can go get my teaching degree, finally.
You can do that. Join us. It's fun. So check out Zorbi. There's all kinds of ways to create these cool flashcards and very easy and simple. And you have the extension and you can flip back and forth and do all kinds of cool stuff. So check out Zorbi.
Zorbi.
Yep. And you can play around with it. Make yourself some flashcards. Your students can make flashcards. We can all learn new things.
Yeah. You can check the link in the show notes or go to smartnwi.com and read the episode.
Yeah. Ta-da.
Boom.
So the second Chrome extension we have today is fabulous. And what's funny is I was clicking on it and you're like, what is it?
Yeah.
I'm like, look what it does.
Look what it does.
You need this. You need this extension.
As a sufferer of ADHD, as you all who have listened to the show, when I go down a wormhole,
yes,
you know.
That's fine. So the second Chrome extension we're talking about is called Postlight Reader. Postlight Reader. And it's fabulous.
Why is it fabulous, Shanna?
So Postlight Reader is this cute little rocket ship, and it makes your life so much. All you have to do is put this extension on, And then when you open an article, click the rocket ship and everything goes away.
It turns the page blank?
No, it takes away all of the stuff. Like if I pull up an article, we're going to stick with Nat Geo Kids because I have it open. Kids, National Geographic, we've talked about before.
Yep.
There is so many cute things. There's like birds and cats and dogs and things swimming and there's a lot. And for some of our kids, we know that trying to get them to read or annotate an article or anything, it's super distracting and they don't know where to look and they're clicking on the videos and staring at the pictures and the reading on the computer is difficult. Like it's not, I have a hard time reading on a computer. I want to have a paper book in front of me.
Yep.
But we need to read on the computer. So what this does, so what Postlight Reader does is when you are in your article and you click on the extension, it takes everything that's unnecessary away. So like I just clicked on an article on the bald eagle. It kept one image of the bald eagle. So you still knew like that was what was referenced.
Like the focus image. Yep.
But all of the background color, all the video, all the moving parts went away. So it was just the article, which is super nice when you're trying to read, when you're trying to project on your smartboard and you're trying to, like I use articles when I'm talking to my students and we annotate as we read in class. And I usually have to zoom in and like finagle things. But when I use Postlight Reader, it takes all it away and we can just read the information we need to read and not be distracted by everything else going on. It will remove most ads from the screen as well when you're using it. But when the second you switch off the page, Postlight Reader goes away. Okay. So you have to open the article, turn Postlight Reader on, and then if you go to another article, you have to open it again. It doesn't just stay on your screen. But also
doesn't it strip off the links to the other articles as well?
It does. Yeah, it just makes it just a tab. Okay, like the tab is there. You have to just hit the back button to go back to what you were reading or what you want to read about.
And then to get it to go, you just click the rocket ship in order to turn it on. Is that how that works?
Correct. The rocket ship goes on. Everything goes away on the screen. Background colors, all the images, all the stuff, pulls just the content. And then you can either click the rocket ship and everything comes back, or you just hit the back button. So either works for you.
So outside of the classroom, this would be great for those recipe sites.
Yes.
Where, it's like, has a whole bunch of images and
muffins. And then, we're going to tell you about all the day of my life, how I made these muffins and how I went to the store. And then
I went to muffin college and learned how to make muffins. And that's where I met the love of my life. And
do you want the recipe? Because it's like all the way down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Muffin, best ever muffins. I will say you do have to be careful with those recipe sites though, because some of them, there's so much nonsense on them. The whole website goes blank and you just get the title.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
Just so you know. Yeah. So if you're searching muffins, it may pull everything away because the website, like the Chrome extension's like, I don't even know what's real. So there's that.
Sure. Now, in your classroom, you would have to encourage the students who are getting distracted to install that and then also to use it, right?
Yes. I would say a lot of times there's certain extensions that as a class, we just all put them on together. Like, all right, today we're like Google Read and Write. Yep. Everybody has it. It's just kind of like the expectation. You don't, like, no one's forced to use it, but it's there to encourage kids to use it so everyone has it. I know some elementary teachers do the same thing in our school where everybody has certain extensions, like there's 3 or 4 of them that every kid has, but then other kids can put them on, like with teachers' permission can have them put on and stuff like that. So it kind of depends on your district and what you allow. But Postlight Reader is fantastic to focus things so that way you can read them and it gets all the clutter away. And yeah. So basically, and like on their side too, it like sends to the Kindle functionality. So it's like just to read what you need to read.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's perfect. So you get that from the Chrome extension store. Correct. And go to Postlight one-word reader.
There you go. Ta-dee. So 2 very helpful extensions this week. Hopefully They will make your life a little easier when it comes to teaching in December.
I've thought of a better pun that I should have used at the beginning of the show.
What do you got?
I should have said that I'm Fuzz Martin. I'm producer, husband, and just an extension of your knowledge.
That's clever.
But yeah, here we go.
Okay.
Here we are. 2 puns for the price of 1 today.
Yay, it's a good week. Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast. If you ever have any questions, you can find me on Twitter at SmartNWI. And if you want to get more information on the links to the technology discussed in this episode, visit smartnwi.com, or you can find me on Facebook. If you'd like to support the show, please consider buying me a coffee or two. Visit buymeacoffee.com/smartnwi or visit smartnwi.com and click on that cute little purple coffee cup. Your donations help keep this show going. New episodes each week. Thanks for listening. Go educate and innovate.
The ideas and opinions expressed on this podcast and the Smart NWI website are those of the author, Shanna Martin, and not of her employer. Prior to using any of the technologies discussed on this podcast, please consult with your employer regulations. This podcast offers no guarantee that these tools will work for you as described, but we sure hope they do.